I am Dr. Santosh KM. I am from India, and I am working as a teaching faculty in a university. As far as I am concerned, I was traveling in a train a decade ago. Then there was a small accident happened. I was traveling from my workplace to my native, my hometown. It is Kannur, and I was working in Cochin, Ernakulam. So 300 kilometers journey. So I had uh, completed one third of the journey, and some station, it is called Calicut railway station. Just passed, I was sitting nearby the window. All of a sudden, this window, all of a sudden it fell on my elbow. It's made of heavy, this one glass frame and all that. So it is a lifting sort of sliding sort of window. So some mechanism is lost, I think, the spring mechanism and all that. It was not properly latched. So it fell on my elbow, and I had a severe pain. That is, I never had such a pain, but it was the people who witnessed, they were asking me why you are struggling so much. There is a small wound, and bleeding was there, and they found it as a small accident. It is not a, but I could not bear the pain. Then I stood up and I was struggling, and I asked their help, the co-passengers, and they tied with my handkerchief. And then I felt very thirsty, so I asked them to get me a sip of water that I was holding. It was on carrier, and I asked them to take little other bottle, and I just had a sip of water. That's all. There was no body consciousness, but the consciousness was there, and there was initially darkness and gray sort of thing. I did not, because in an embarrassment, I could not feel initially what happened. I could not recollect it and all that. So finally, I could see that there was a horizon sort of thing, a bright light and all that. So I was, it is a miracle, and I thought, what is happening to me? And am I that is, the sensation is there, but body consciousness was not there. Then horizon sort of thing, and bright light. Then I was approaching to that light and all that. Then finally I had been transported to a place where it is looks like a snow world. You can say that it is world like snow. So then there was a little gray difference backside, and it is some sort of I think I felt like a building or something. Some gray difference was there, and in fact there was some decision making or something. I was not getting permission to enter and all that. So I was not doing anything. It is naturally it is transported and all that. After some time, after a fraction of seconds from there, I had been transported to another place where a sort of high range sort of thing. You can say that it's a hilly sort of area. And there also, I was just like an observer. I am seeing a world with a lot of greeneries and all that. So there also, I do not know what happened. What is the purpose of taking me there? By the time, all of a sudden, my consciousness went on to. I had been brought to a place where mansions. You can say that it is a vast field with flowers, yellowish flowers. It is full vast field of flowers. It is the light is like evening sunlight, like that reddish rays were coming. And I thought, what I should do here. So then I understood that this is death, because there is no body consciousness, but I couldn't find anyone there. And what is my purpose and all that, I do not know. So then I regret what to do here, and what is my next thing, how do I manage and all that. And then I thought about family, my daughter and a daughter and all that, and also community, some service and all that. I was doing some sort of charity work and all that. So I thought of all the this one native and all that. By that time, all of a sudden, my consciousness went back to my again came back to my body. So great surprise in the train, there was a huge crowd. They understood that I had gone already, and all of a sudden my consciousness came, and I opened my eyes and all that. So by the time I could see that the train officials were standing before me and in front of me, and many huge crowd. See, all were expected that I'm already died. So they informed the next station to make the ambulance and all that. So great surprise, they really astonished, and they asked about the whereabouts of mine. And because I did not make any the confirmed booking and all of a sudden I started the journey and all that. It was not a pre-booking and all that, so my details were not there. So they asked about my name, my phone number, my relative's name, and so many details. Then they asked me whether are you all right, because they said that they informed the next railway station to make all the necessary arrangements to meet the doctors and all that. They said otherwise you will get medical attention at your destination point only. So then I said, I'm all right, I can travel, it's not a problem. Then the superintendent instructed the ticket checker to accompany me to the railway hospital. That time only I came to know that this railway stations and all that having this sort of hospitals. So then they said let him take rest, and all the crowd they asked to move and all that. So my co-passengers, they asked many questions to me. Then I explained them about the three worlds which I perceived and all that. Then they said in the train what happened was my pulses were going down, almost gone, and in front of me, one lady, she was having some medical background. She's a nurse or something. And she made a lot of punching and all that to my heart. They thought that a cardiac arrest. So they wanted to bring it back, and they were hopeless because they lost I lost the pulses and all that, almost gone. By that time, my consciousness came. So they explained me all the details. Then I explained them about the words and all. Then they said maybe correct. So I reached the destination point. This ticket checker examiner, he came along with me and consulted the medical officer. Doctor was not there, and all the checkups they made in Kannur railway station, and medical this one, so railway hospital, and everything was normal, and they made the dressing and all that in the wound. Wound was very small. Then I said bye, and I came to the road, and I found the people and all that. It is a miraculous thing which has happened to me. And then only I came to know that there is NDE, the near-death experience. That was the transformation which has happened to me, and I started doing good things and sharing this. But because 10 years I did not disclose, because initially when I started exposing this one to the relatives and close friends and all that, they were mocking me, and they said that this is not real, and it never happens. Something, it may be a hallucination or some sort of things which you perceived. That is not going to. So then I stopped telling, because I'll become a jockey, ridiculous sort of thing. So then I stopped. Then after a decade, I disclosed that there is a story behind that. Actually, I perceived all these three worlds and all that. This is astral, the spirit world. Later, I confirmed it by going through the books and all that, and so many people witnessed this one, and through their videos and all that, I got this perception. It is the real one, and I try to give emphasis on convincing all these people, but many did not believe it. So I ended my this one, and I started convincing the thing which is what can I do for the better to the world. So that time I got an opportunity to work in abroad in Ethiopia. So I was working in a university. So I used to pray. Then this Almighty, the Supreme, what is it, the Creator of the universe. So I used to pray for sustaining life here, providing all necessary things. That is air, water, everything. Even protecting us from the ultraviolet radiation, this ozone layer, and all that. So then I used to say thank to God. Then every time, this is my prayer and thanksgiving, always half an hour and all that. So by that time, I got a lot of literatures on this afterlife. So one day I was praying in the evening, morning and evening. I used to pray from there in Africa. So, so some sort of communication with the God. You can say that this is one-way communication, but I feel that some sort of answers I used to get from a book. So then this evening, I was about to. I asked the Almighty. I have a lot of knowledge about this afterlife. So whether should I give to the world, because they are ignorant. Most of the 90% of the people are never of afterlife, and even those scriptures and like Bible and all that it says, but they take it as lightly. So a book confined to this, whether to give it to the world or not. Then surprisingly, I was about to open my book, but prior to that, what happened was the my little daughter, she was about 3 years old that time, and she opened the door and came with a pencil and pad with a paper, and she gave it to me and said, "You write," and I left. So it was an astonishing thing as far as I am concerned. I never expected such a thing. I thought of asking indirectly. So it happened. Then I got confirmation that some force is behind this. So then I took it as seriously and I started writing. So all the things which were related to this one. So finally, I committed God that I'll write the book, and it got delayed like that. And in between, I came back to India, joined back to the university, and again I started for not forgetting, but because there is no ending sort of process. So finally, the book made is a very perfect one. This book is in Amazon. It is The Miracle of Life After Death, a scientific and spiritual investigation, the book titled. And I'll do the needful because this is not my intention, because I got an experience and the world should know that afterlife and all that. So many people will be rescued. So that is my message.